project.
Before long, more Trump buildings helped change the skyline of New York. Building in New York was not easy, but Donald was never more frustrated than watching the city waste 6 years and $13 million trying to rebuild Central Park's Wallman Ice Rink. Donald was astounded. It took him only 2 years to build Trump Tower. So he stepped in and took over the project. He finished in 3 months and under budget. He took over another city project, tied up in red tape since 1978. Donald transformed a landfill into a championship public golf course and saved the city millions. Donald will tell you his secret for success is a strong team.
He just has that knack of finding the right person, the qualified person who will really excel in that position.
Like his father before him, he taught his children the business, and now they're important members of the Trump team.
Mr. Trump and his children, they love what they do and they are incredibly good at it. And I think that breeds the same type of passion for all those that work for him and are around him.
From day one, my father trained us really well, whether it was in a boardroom, whether it was on a job site. We spent time learning the business, and he made sure we understood the value of a dollar and what it meant to really work.
He'd send me renderings when I was a little girl with handwritten notes on them of buildings that were under construction or in the planning stage and say, I can't wait for you to grow up and help me build these. Now it's fun to stand shoulder to shoulder with my father.
Over the years, Donald has created tens of thousands of new jobs, many of them for women.
When I was building my building on Park Avenue, and he was building the Trump Tower, he had the first female construction superintendent on the job.
When he made me general manager 9 years ago, there were only 3 female general managers of 5-star hotels in the whole of North America.
After a long career, accomplishing much of what others said couldn't be done, Donald Trump has set his sights on a new rebuilding project.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
Donald has said he admires people who put themselves directly on the line. Today, he's not only putting himself on the line, but under fire. Donald could have continued his successful career and spent more time with his family, but instead, he chose to run for president.
See, he doesn't need to do this, but what's been happening over the last 8 years has been so tragic for the course of our nation, he simply had to do this.
For my father to step away from a company that he's deeply committed to in favor of running for elected office was a real sacrifice for him.
It's Donald's nature to help others.
A lot of times he comes across a story or meets a person that touches him, and he'll make sure that that person is taken care of privately for the rest of their lives.
Donald Trump has a very big heart. When police officers or firefighters or even sanitation workers, correction officers, I can remember a teacher got injured or died, he would step forward and he would make an anonymous contribution.
For Donald, it all begins with our young people.
Donald Trump believes that higher education and more job opportunities will enhance the quality of American living.
Donald is committed to protecting our families and keeping our cities safe.
What I see out of Donald Trump, it starts with a message. It starts with a positive message of respect for the American law enforcement officer. But we need it from our national leaders, and that's where we're not getting it right now.
He is the one candidate, the non-politician, who can fix our broken economy and get America working again.
Trump is a guy, brand new, comes in, shakes up Washington, changes policies on taxes and regulations and helps businesses, and middle-income wage earners will get a raise for the first time in 15 years.
Donald will stand up for America.
Donald Trump understands negotiation. There's just no doubt about it. It's one of his great strengths, and we have been taken to the cleaners in world trade. We are losing jobs every year, every day, as a result of bad trade policies and bad trade agreements.
While some politicians say our best days are past, Donald believes our best days are yet to come.
Ronald Reagan was a cheerleader for America. He would talk about what a great country this is, how important it is to work, that gives incentive to people, and it makes working hopeful. I think what Donald Trump can do, he can give us hope again. He can give us pride in being an American again. He can make us feel like what we should feel like. We're exceptionally lucky people living in this country.
Donald Trump is a leader, not a politician. He will be honest with the American people. He will stop wasteful government spending of our tax dollars. He will cut our taxes and create jobs, and will rebuild our broken economy. He will lead this country, not apologize to the world for our success. He will always put America's best interests first, whether it's a trade deal with China or standing up to radical Islamic terrorists. As he has done so many times before, he will stand up for the brave men and women who defend our country and who protect us here at home. He will bring about the change this country so desperately needs and get the job done. It's been a long time since we've had a president like that. Donald Trump, it's time to make America great again.
A few years ago, ideas that we talked about were thought to be fringe ideas, radical ideas, extremist ideas. Those ideas are now mainstream.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless. What's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women?
One way you get rid of Trump is a crashing economy, so please bring on the recession.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Ladies and gentlemen, I started with those two videos because I wanted to draw a stark contrast between the two parties that we have. Trump, as we've all seen since he's become president, is winning over and over again. But his winning isn't for himself. It's for us. He's taking care of America. He's taking care of all races, creeds, colors, and genders. And this is why we need to keep supporting Trump. But Trump's winning streak doesn't just stand here in the United States. Brazil, 15 years ago, was taken over by the left. Since then, it has been rocked with scandal after scandal. Corruption everywhere. This weekend, Bolsonaro wins Brazil presidential race. And just like Trump, he's called a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe, a homophobe. He's probably going to be another Trump and do a wonderful job. His platform, much like Trump's: I will rid the country of corruption. I will restore Brazil as a nation of prominence. Keep in mind, Brazil is the fourth largest democracy in the world, and it just hired Trump's clone. I wish everyone in Brazil the very best. The next news I have for you, it really rocks my world. When Trump came on to the world stage, Angela Merkel treated him like he was a passing phase in America and gave him no respect. And in fact, the European Union, at every chance they can under Merkel's rule, has gone against Trump where they could. Well, Trump's been on the world stage for 2 years. Angela Merkel was the head of the European Union when he arrived, and as of the elections this weekend, Merkel announced that because of the devastating election and humiliating defeat in the elections, she will not run. As a result, she, Angela Merkel, not Donald Trump, now steps down from the world stage. Ladies and gentlemen, people around the world are seeing what Trump is doing for America. Not just us. People around the world want what he has to offer, and now they're in the search to find their Trump, their mentor, their leader, to lead them out of the doldrums that the socialist left has pushed the globe into. The reality is more people are employed, more people are going to be employed. Factories are going to be opening over the next year or two that are going to offer hundreds of thousands of new jobs for Americans. And existing factories continue to expand based on new trade deals and trade tariffs with China. It's now cheaper to make it in America than it is in China. So as we go forward and as we continue to win, we need to remember that November the 6th, this is a day that every Republican has to show up at the polls. This red wave needs to be biblical, and I do believe it will be. But it only will be biblical if you and I show up and don't sit back and gloat at how well things are going. So get out and vote. Remember, Donald Trump is making America great again, and his message is starting to resound around the world. Let's not let him down. Ladies and gentlemen, before I say goodbye, I hope you'll take the time to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.